Just speak truth to power. This is Harper. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please do. I'd like to offer you my soundbite, and hopefully you have got some inspiring information from my side of the world and this channel. Well, let me speak some truth to power. I've been looking up everything and following all the people and following our political arena and the things that go on in our political arena and the laws and the governor and the government and the mayors and the Congress and the caucus people, and have you know that I'm directly connected to that. So are you if you're an American citizen, and so are you if you're also here illegally, because basically you force your way into it, but you have to be dealt with in a different manner. Let me talk about it. The squad is an embarrassment. They're an embarrassment to the American people. And what really makes them an embarrassment? There's two major things that makes them an embarrassment. First and foremost, they're not actual Americans. They're not. They have basically been able to explore our country through our generosity as a nation. And they have been able to obtain United States citizenship, okay, and their parents were able to obtain United States citizenship, and they were born in the country, and so they're not us, and they're representing us, supposedly are in places to represent the American people, the United States citizens, and they're to a predominantly black party, foundational black people who voted Democrat for many years. That's an embarrassment that they're there. That's just an embarrassment. It would be better to have white people even there, because we're all Americans. So you got to understand what this is. This is America. No matter how we fight, no matter who we are historically, what we've been through, we've been dealt with wrong. Slavery happening historically. And we are forced into, like a constituency, to work together, to pan out the laws, to keep everything in the forefront, to do what's moral in terms of political exchange in the political arena. This is what we're supposed to do. The bag that we were left to deal with, that's unfortunate, we're supposed to implement the laws in terms of that. And according, of course, my ancestors, the slave descendants, are supposed to be reconcile or reckon with in terms of government policy. And these people are representing us who come from other nations. That's first an embarrassment. Now the second embarrassment is that they're not practicing due diligence. Now, we could get past that, the fact that they're from other places, but they respect America and its laws and its history, and they may need like an analyst or somebody to represent and give them information, or a historian to kind of sharpen their ideas. But they're not practicing due diligence. They're acting selfishly in powerful positions who are speaking for millions of people, and they're not speaking for us. That's not our voice. They're acting selfishly. So they're in a space of leadership in terms of community and a caucus, and they're not speaking for us, and they don't care. And they like to say that that's us, what they're saying, their ideas, their ideology, it belongs to us. It doesn't. That's not speaking for us. It's definitely not speaking for the descendants of slaves. It's definitely not speaking for American descendant of slavery, ADOS. It's not speaking for us either. But we put them in office. We gave them their positions. Well, not only us. As a matter of fact, the country had a political failure in so many ways, even though this is the first world nation, the most powerful country in the world, and it's rich, very rich country. And we got a lot of things done. Even the slave descendants, as a matter of fact, the descendants of slaves are the very apparatus of the wealth of the country in terms of slavery and how the country exchanging wealth. We had to be a people who were forced to die, work for free, and get the country going and raising it up in terms of wealth. And then other groups come and join the party in an economic manner, because they did abolish slavery in terms of working in a field in a physical form, but in an economic manner, we're still trapped because there's no capital. And a lot of our people are told that it's good to be a basketball player, football player, a rapper, or something like that, a buffoon. And that's not any capital. That means a person that's become rich. And they're owned by signers and people who own companies and stuff, which makes 10 times more than the actual degenerate. That's who we are. That's who we are as descendants of slaves. Now, I'm not going after white people and saying, okay, go get Whitey, he's a bad person, he's a bad guy. No, we're talking about what happened to us historically. And we're talking about the effects of what happened to us today and what it has caused. And now we got people representing us in these areas in terms of government that don't care nothing about American people in particular, let alone the slave descendants. They don't even care nothing about America. So we got to look at this thing all the way. Now, of course, the slave descendants, we want our plight heard, and we want to be repaired and reconciled with the government in a very real way. We want to be remembered in the history of this nation properly, and we want the laws implemented in terms of that. But however, these politicians don't even care about the Americans, let alone the descendants of slaves. So it's two things that you got to look at here. Even though we have our reckoning with white folks in the country and white supremacy and people who own slaves through groups that access whiteness, and they have generational wealth, and they never got the policies in office for us to deal with. We have our reckoning with them. But in the process, they're being targeted also. Not in terms of them not reconciling and reckoning with the justice claims of the slave descendants. It's in terms of them not giving more illegals citizenship and not allowing the country to be overflooded and giving basically reparations to people that don't even belong here. This is preposterous. So not only us, but Americans in particular are being attacked. These groups are dangerous people. And I'm not talking about just killing folks and committing crimes. They're going to take over our government. See, we thought we were just dealing with something small, easy to deal with, small government. These people are progressive, once they become in some kind of power. So they're in the government making accusations, trying to embarrass our federal agents who are professionals. Of course, if somebody do something wrong, they need to be dealt with and removed from the job and stuff because they're incompetent and they're loose and they're breaking the law. Okay, that's different. But these people are presumptuous and they're trying to destroy the whole country, not just the descendants of slaves. And they thought that they could get to our country and kiss up the white folk. And they said, oh, we work hard, these black Americans, they don't do nothing. They came in my store. All these immigrants, all you immigrants with businesses all over the country, all through the United States diaspora, looked upon black people as though we were less than you. Treated us, stared us wrong, stared us with an evil stare, coming in your businesses, all kinds of things of sort. And we tried to be your family and your friends. But welcome to the season of exposure. You will be found out. You are in a country you know nothing about. We say we save you. You were able to access the first world nation, and you and your family, because you couldn't do it at home. And you get over here and say you can do it, and that you did it. You educated. My family educated. I'm from Brazil. Everybody educated in my family. I'm from Nigeria. All of these kind of things, and we did it. You didn't do anything. We saved you. You came here on the laws that we forced into action. You didn't do nothing. You came to somebody else's house and brought a sofa and put it in the living room and said you did it. Basically, that's the analysis. You came over to someone else's country that was laid out already in terms of law and jumped on their affirmative actions and went to their colleges or used their business camaraderie and the laws that were broken to catapult into a successful space going unharmed. like you were in your country. Now, if you'd have did something, see, you didn't do what we did. Because if you'd have did it, you would have did it at home. You wouldn't have to come here. You wouldn't have ran from your own government, who is not, you're not reciprocating any kind of loyalty from. You wouldn't have ran from that. You guys are not being treated right in your countries, so you come here. But then you come here and you talk bad about the descendants of slaves and the foundation of black Americans. Well, you being found out. You cannot understand, white people don't see nothing deep about you. They know you as followers and peons. You are being used like a toy. You know how a pimp do a whore? Well, when the curtains get pulled, you no longer need it. When the stuff get real. Because you don't even have enough information to be in those spaces. You don't even know the history of this country. You don't know that. You don't understand what's in the real interior of our society in terms of historical exchange existence. You don't understand. So we do that. They know who we are. See, white people don't really have to respect morality because they're in power. They're learning to. The only people they have to respect in terms of morality is us because we're the only people they have been immoral to. You're not a white person. And they know it. A lot of times when you go up to white people and kiss their butts and talk about the slave descendants, when you walk away, they say stuff like, well, black's the one fought for them. I don't want them here. Black's the one got that law changed during Martin Luther Jr. King's regime. We don't want them here. They want you here to use you. So they can say, well, they put you in the spots we were supposed to be in and say, oh, look, they did it. And then you talk about we don't like the work. We're the best scholars throughout the whole global diaspora. Like I said, my whole family's educated and in government, okay? And in corporate and own a few businesses, but that we don't have any capital because of the way the government is set up and the law has not been implemented in terms of the descendants of slavery. So we're looking to have an exchange in the political arena. This has nothing to do with anybody personally. This is a government issue, something the United States sanctioned that hurt us as a particular unit in the country. And you guys are here being presumptuous, and you think you understand, don't you? You think you know what you're saying, and you're making a fool out yourself. And you guys have a few stores and shops and all that stuff. It's getting rough, ain't it? Well, the President Donald Trump has introduced a new element. And what he's introduced, anybody that runs is going to run promoting the fight against illegal immigration for Republicans. So there's going to always be a policy against you now because you're not supposed to be here the way you are. There's always going to be a policy against you now. So welcome to the season of new development in terms of a country. It is dangerous for you people to be in our caucus, in our government, in Congress, going against Israel, our allies, Omar and that other lady. And you're immigrants. You are immigrants. You're not American people. You're not in the history of our nation. And you're forcing your way. And you're trying to promote illegal immigration. People who are coming here to kill folk, doing drugs, child trafficking. We're not responsible to take care of these people because they want a better life. Everybody wants a better life. Most people want something more than what they got. Most people do. Even rich people. They say, well, I wish I was slim. I wasn't so big. Or I wish I was younger. Botox is not really doing it. Or I wish I had more money. Everybody want a better life. You don't come here with a narrative that you want a better life. Now, if you got a true asylum seeking that you running from something that's different, 80% of you guys get denied citizenship. That's a reason for that. We don't need you to come here to work. We need you to stay at your own countries and clean it up. Clean your own home up and do sanctions with the United States. Since you know so much as an immigrant, since you know so much, why you come here, what we work for and put out for you to access and then talk about you did it. You ain't did nothing. You Africans was over there pissing in the river. And the laws we got in effect brought you here. And Haiti, we don't talk about Haiti. It's in rough, bad shape. And the laws we fought for as descendants of slaves brought you here. Even Jamaica. Out of nice stab in Kingston. The laws we got in effect brought you here. Our work, blood, sacrifice, free labor, the bones of our ancestors got you here. And you talking about you did something. You ain't did nothing. You did something. Why you have to leave your own home where you couldn't reckon with your own government? You Guatemalans, you Hondurans, Venezuela, your government don't even reciprocate and loyalty to you. A lot of you got fields and stuff you still working in. No highways, no cars, no fast pace of life like we have here. We are the apparatus of this country, of it being successful. No, not just us. It's people that was here. White people made ideas and stuff, and they used their money and stuff. But we invented a lot of stuff here, and you guys think you belong here. This ain't no welcome mat for you to just come in and get food stamps. And then after you get tired of getting met and your husband and stuff get loans and y'all get stores and salsa leaders and Indian restaurant and African shops. This ain't what this is. You have tried to make it that way and it's almost what it's become, but we standing because y'all don't appreciate nothing. You get here and you causing problems, and you will cause a war if we allow it. Don't bring your tribalism here. Don't bring your tribalism here. Okay? Because y'all some dangerous ass people. Y'all, when Donald Trump was talking about asshole countries, he was talking about y'all. He wasn't talking about us. And y'all over here talking about black people and white people. This is not your business. What our plight is with the powers that be in this country. And our plight with people that were slave traders, descendants of slave traders, and we're descendants of slaves. It has nothing to do with you, whether black people lazy and don't want to work. You have no business opening your mouth. You Indians, East Indians, and you Latinos and Hispanics. You want to do something, fix your own country. Coming over here getting in other people's business because we rich and we got it like that. Don't forget who fed you. Don't bite the hand that feed you. Because a lot of y'all don't know nothing. You're like 3-year-olds and we're like 21-year-olds when it comes down to the history of this country and what it actually is and what actually goes on. You don't have any knowledge. And this is the season of exposure in terms of you. I expect you guys need to walk lightly, including Candy Owens. Talking about other black people could have done what you did. We did do better than you. You came from your country to here to walk around and act like you're an American. You're saying you're an American. You're not no American. And you're walking, kissing up behind white people, kissing up behind the Republican Party so they can pretty much accent your American status. You are from Brazil somewhere. You're not from here. Your family ran from your country because they couldn't fix it. They weren't strong. They're considered to be cowards. All of you. So think about that. This is something we did. We put this together. And you coming over here talking about you a part of it. And that you did it. You ain't did nothing. Kamala Harris came over here. The schools were already integrated. When old AOC came over here, we had already integrated. Y'all reciting Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech. What you reciting his speech for? He was a descendant of slaves. Since you want to talk about it so bad, what you reciting our ancestors' legacy for? Injustice everywhere. Injustice everywhere. That wasn't for you. You're a whole different country. You're a whole different people. You're using and you're trying to finesse. And then you're all in our government. This is deplorable. And we don't want you there. So get ready. You will be removed. Get ready. Why do you think the Jamaican lady announced she's Jamaican? She did that because she don't want us to think she's been fake. Because she know a lot of y'all hide behind the natives when you get ready for position. And that's over. So she said she was Jamaican because she wants us to believe she's transparent. And I hope somebody take old AOC's place. But she said that. She said she's Jamaican. And I like what she did. But you're not going to hide behind us anymore. And then put us down because you want to kiss up to powers that be and get on the side with the most weight on because they don't want you here either. Except for the bleeding hearts who don't know anything and are not a political astute. Thank you for joining me.